who have presented their research papers very nicely and shared their views to the audience and enlightened them to their future work. And special thanks to Dr. L.P. Singh sir for accepting our invitation as a session chair as well as delivered a lead lecture.
Thank you, Nijamuddin. Thank you very much. And thanks to Dr. Rana to invite me as a lead lecturer and session chair. It was nice to interact with you all the participants. They have deliberated in a so lucid manner, and that was a fruitful session for me. I have learned many things from all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I request our director, Dr. N.K. Rana, sir, to join the meeting.
Hello. Good evening to all. This is around 4:30 past in India, and we are into the last session of today's program. And in this session, we have two keynote speakers. The two keynote speakers, one, Professor Hwwe Zhang from China, and Professor Orlando Gomes from Brazil. The first keynote is to be delivered by Professor Hwwe Zhang from China. Actually, I welcome Dr. Hwwe Zhang for first keynote lecture of this session. He'll be speaking on emerging HFE issues with human AI interface. Professor Hwwe Zhang, a young researcher, and he's experimenting with AI application to HFE, a very new topic, a recent activity. I'll introduce Professor Zhang to the audience. Professor Zhang is Associate Professor in the School of Computer Science and Technology, East China Normal University. He has completed his engineering from Hwwe Institute of Technology and PhD from Hwwe University in China. Professor Zhang has more than 50 publications to his credit in journals and conferences. Professor Zhang has 3 research projects going on with him: National Key Research and Development Program, National Scientific Foundation of China Program, and Shanghai Selling Program. Professor Zhang is awarded with multiple awards: MCA Young Researcher Award, Top Performance Award, Shanghai Chengguang Scholars Award, Excellent Doctoral Dissertation Award, and National Scholarship for his studies. Professor Zhang is a reviewer for multiple international journals, including IEEE Transaction on Knowledge and Data Engineering. In fact, Professor Zhang physically wanted to be here and then deliver his keynote in the conference, but as we have gone online, he is also there with us. But the point is, the connectivity in China nowadays through Google Meet and through Zoom is disrupted. So we requested Professor Zhang to record his lecture and pass it on for the audience. And I'm thankful to Professor Zhang that he obliged, he accepted our request, and he has exactly prepared a keynote lecture on HFE and its application using AI. We got his recording and his blessings with us. I now start this keynote through the video lecture. Thank you so much for being with us, and I request all of you to listen to Professor Zhang.
Distinguished guests for this webinar. I'm so honored to be invited to give a presentation through the pre-recorded video for this webinar because Zoom has stopped service in China, so I have to pre-record this video. Today, my topic will be emerging HFE issues with human AI interaction and collaboration. So today I'm going to talk about two topics. One will be emerging AI application scenarios, and the other one will be human AI collaborative decision making. And if we look at the power that we use for our work and our life, so in ancient times, human beings used horsepower or some other animal powers. And after the Industrial Revolution, people need to know how to use motive power or advanced motive power. At the beginning, basically, is a steam engine power. And at that time, the HFE emerged in the 19th century, focusing on the relationship between human and machine. And in the last century, with more advanced motive power and more industries, so the modern HFE emerged. People focused on human system relationships. For example, the transportation of all kinds of vehicles, power plants, factories, production lines, automated car manufacturing workshops, or computer systems. And today, actually, we are probably moving to another stage that we are now able to use the computational power. So because we already have so much data and we have developed complicated algorithms that can help people to perform some tasks. So in other words, AI. And so in this era, the future FE probably will focus on human AI interaction, understanding how the humans and the AI agents work together efficiently and safely. So for example, let's look at first the horsepower stage. So the horsepower provides much higher power and speed than humans. So it will be used in farming, transportation, or even wars. So in ancient Chinese literature, they suggest people to practice 6 skills. So in 3 pairs. For the most of the people, they need to know the regulations and some music. So this is for all the people. And some of them, they need to practice, for example, shooting and driving. And for the very few people, they need to focus on, for example, study and mathematics, literature and mathematics. So among these 6 skills, driving teaches how people could make appropriate use of the horsepower. And in the motive power stage, we know that it provides much higher power and much faster speed than animal power. And for the advanced motive power, for example, the engines, the motors, so it provides much higher precision and also automation. For example, in today's factories, you see a lot of precise, accurate machine tools, and most of them are working automatically. So the HFE issues in this stage, we focus on physical HFE, looking at load, reach, posture, and environment. And for the cognitive HFE, we focus on information perception, processing, and control. And for the organizational HFE, we focus on communication, culture, or grouping. So this will be current system. So we have a lot of advanced motive power systems.
Session is gone. Session is gone somewhere. Where is Session, sir?
how about computational power? So in a new stage, with computational power playing more and more important roles, what will be the case? So if we look back for the communication technology for 3G period, so people start to use the intelligent mobile phones. So you can basically search information, surf the internet through the mobile phone. But actually, for the 4G stage, it promotes a lot of mobile phone applications. I just give you an example in China. For example, in 2014, China started to have a business operation of 4G provided by 3 major suppliers. And in the past 6 years, a lot of famous applications, high impact applications emerged in China or transformed in China. For example, WeChat is a kind of social media providing communication convenience. So it has probably over 1 billion users in China and also many users worldwide. It is not only used for to make electronic payment with computers, but after 4G, they upgraded to the mobile phone payment. Meituan is a kind of fast food delivery service. So they introduced new service of this service after the 4G is became popular in China. TikTok, maybe some people already know that. So currently, U.S., China, they are talking about how to treat in the past, like 2 to 3 years, became popular. Some other e-shopping vendors is also took advantage of the 4G and shared bicycles, games, videos, or even e-banking using free application. Especially during the COVID pandemic time, so the QR code and also the tracking of your exposure to potential COVID virus is also expressed by some kind of electronic service. And how about 5G? Actually, 5G is even far. Now in China, it already introduced a business application and also information service in cities. Actually, compared to 4G, 5G is more promising because of its much higher bandwidth and its much shorter transmission delay. So its potential applications may include intelligent transportation, warehouse operation, medical application, remote medical operation, smart family or service, or industry 4.0, or even a more advanced industries. So with all this, so that with so much data and so much higher computational power, then we will see that the 5G will enable and promote real-time sensing and data transferring of connected Internet of Things. And big data and substantially improved computational power will promote the application of AI. And future AI advancement may substantially change the work and lifestyle that currently we are familiar with. So accordingly, the HAP issues will emerge along with this, of course. So if we look at the relationships, the scenarios, the application scenarios, there exist different relationships between humans and AI agents. So the left one is mainly operated and monitored by humans. So this is the working task performed by the human, but he will refer to some kind of information provided by some kind of AI or information agent. So for this style, AI is only as a reference. But in the middle one, the humans and the AI agent, they will collaborate. They will jointly perform the tasks. And it could be either performed by the human at one time or at the other time by the AI. So that there is a switch. So for this style, the AI is already as a partner with the humans. But if you look at the right one, if the AI is more advanced and if they can independently operate and monitor a task, so the humans may be his supervisor or manager at an upper level. So for this style, the robot and the AI agent is again as a slave. But the difference is the AI agent here can mostly can operate and monitor the task independently with little intervention from his supervisor, in other words, a human. And so for the left case, as a reference only case is basically, for example, the scenario you drive with a smart GPS application. So usually the GPS app will provide you suggested route for your driving, but taking it or not is up to you. So it's only as a reference. But with the Tesla automated driving or some other platform, so that the driver and the AI agent, they can jointly drive the car, either by the driver or by the AI agent, automated driving. So they can alternate. So for this style, there are a lot of new emerging HAP issues. Actually, I also noticed in China recently, some companies started to provide a service for the automated driving service from the Beijing railway station to a home. Currently, there is a driver in car, but he does not drive. He just monitor the car, provide only some, in some special cases, it may involve. Otherwise, it's totally automated driving. And for the master-slave style, so for example, the automated taxis once become popular, and then the humans does no longer stay in the car, but alternatively they will monitor the operation of a much larger number of automated vehicles, automated driving vehicles. So this will come into a new stage. And in addition to this, there are actually many other applications with AIs. For example, the factory operation, the workshop operation, and even intelligent farming application, farming these animals, or medical diagnostic applications. The doctors and AI agent work jointly to diagnose the patient, or intelligent coal mines. Oh, sorry. And for the warehouse, for example, the warehouse AI operation, you'll see few people in the warehouse. All the robots, they work automatically, and it can optimize its route considering the limitation, the constraint of other robots, or the transportation, AI enhanced truck transportation. So in the future on the highway, there will be few real drivers. Most trucks will be driven by the AI agent, or even there are drivers, they just stay relaxed, monitor the operation of the AI. And for the last mile, especially the community delivery, it could be performed by the robot. And actually, many of the communities started to develop the AI applications in the community. And actually, if you look more, especially the social media, there are so many registered customers or users. So the user dear distinguished guests for this webinar. I'm so honored to be invited to give a presentation through the pre-recorded video. The route for your driver. All the robots, they work automatically, and it can optimize its route, considering the limitation, the constraint of other robots, or the transportation, AI enhanced truck transportation. So in the future on the highway, there will be few real drivers. Most trucks will be driven by the AI agent, or even there are drivers, they just stay relaxed, monitor the operation of the AI. And for the last mile, especially the community delivery, it could be performed by the robot. And actually, many of the communities started to develop the AI applications in the community. And actually, if you look more, especially the social media, there are so many registered customers or users. So the user dear distinguished guests for this webinar. I'm so honored to be invited to give a presentation and in our human factors economics textbooks, we know that for some tasks, it's better performed by humans, or for other tasks, better performed by the machines. But at that time, the humans, machines, each have some kind of constraints and its strength. But in the future, if we assume that the human's performance is relatively stable, unchanged, but we have a strong reason to assume that the machine or the AI agent performance can be improved gradually to a very high. So in this case, this coordinate will be changed like this. So the AI performance is getting higher and higher. And accordingly, much more and more regions will be better performed by AI agent, not by the human, or by the collaboration between the humans and AI agent. So for human decision making to human AI decision making, at least there are 4 typical scenarios For example, a clock waking you up in the morning. So in this style, the clock is just a machine. And then you have a smartphone. You have a smart app. It can provide you much more service compared to the clock. For example, it can have more selection choices of the voice waking you up, or it has much flexibility of the timing. But then in the future, we will have AI agent. It actually can serve you as an assistant, to be your assistant or even your associate in your work or in your life. And in the future, AI even can be a partner with you. So you work jointly. For this kind of things, so how could the AI help me? So that will be one of the HFE issue. So how could the AI help me better? And how could I like AI? So even the AI help me, I may not like him. So how can make you like it? So this will be another issue. How could we adapt to each other? So meaning we work harmony. So we like each other and we cooperate very efficiently, smoothly. And what if our decisions are different? So I made a decision to A while the AI make decision to B. So how to solve the problem? So who takes the responsibility finally? And who makes the final decision? Not necessarily to be the human. Maybe the AI agent, or maybe your supervisor at a higher level. And how to measure the collaboration performance of the human AI agent. And what are the new management issues if our humans have to work with a robot in a group, in a pair? And how can we manage the hierarchy of the management system? So all this will be emerging HFE issues in the future. And for example, I also list some other HFE questions. For example, the trust, because it provides fundamentals for collaboration. If the humans does not trust the AI agent, so they cannot work smoothly. Situation awareness of the human, so especially the dynamic situation awareness, because this will guarantee the human on the track. That means he knows how the AI works and what is the condition. How could I take over if needed? The human's mental model is somewhat static, so usually it's determined by the human's knowledge or experience. The human's emotional needs, because we want the humans and the AI agent work smoothly. So the AI sometimes needs to take care of the human's emotional needs and take it as a constraint or input. The AI express ability. How could the AI agent express his information to the human more clearly, more precisely? And AI understanding ability. How could the AI really understand the human's thinking? And also the augmentation or intervention in case to the correct direction when we try to augment the AI agent performance. And in case the AI made some errors, we will try to intervene the AI agent. So by this way, one we want to optimize the joint performance. And finally, probably the relationship acceptance. So to guarantee that each one for the other is a good mate. And if we look at actually the features of the humans and the features of AI, they are quite different, and they can help each other. For example, the humans are usually experiencing So the humans have cognition bias, while compared to humans, the AI agent is more data-based, but it demands a large quantity of data. So by working jointly, you want to study the risk event uncertainty. So in case of uncertainty, the risk uncertainty, how do you evaluate the uncertainty? Not just by the human, because we have cognition bias, not just by the AI agent, because it needs too much data, and sometimes the data is not available. For the other aspects, is similar. So usually we will study the uncertainty, the relationships, description of the risk factors, and also the risk preference, the strategy of risk decision making, the time pressure, and the public risk and the responsibility. So all these are new emerging issues when people are working jointly with the AI agent. So, and if we look at the humans work jointly with AI together, so we will study the human behavior with AI, because with AI, humans working behavior, so when facing a task, may be different compared to he works alone. So he may overtrust the AI agent, or he may does not trust the AI agent. So we need to study the human behavior in a new scenario. Of course, on the other hand, we also need to study the AI behavior with the human. So without a human, just by automation or by the AI, it has some kind of behavior. Actually, it's basically programmed. But when he is working with a human partner, so he can learn the humans, take the human's output as some kind of input for his training, self-training. So gradually, the AI and the human, they will become a good partner. In case of any conflicts between the two roles, there might be a supervisor at the upper level to either intervene or train or supervise the human, or optimize or train the AI or upgrade the AI agent. And for the behavior, the humans operate, make decisions, and also have feedback. The AI agent is similar, has decision and also feedback. We also need to understand the reasons of a human singularity or the reasons of AI singularity. So both the humans and the AI agent may make mistakes or miss the requirement. So in other words, singularity. For the humans, maybe because insufficient knowledge, insufficient experience, or just a distraction by some other things, or fatigue. You did not sleep well, you have fatigue, or you have some mood, for example, anger. And with anger, you may make decisions not appropriate. For the AI agent, on the other hand, mean because of inaccurate data or noise of the environment, or the lack of training, or the model defect. Your model has some kind of defect, or computational overload, or even the data transmission delay. So in all these special event, we need to design the warning or modification or takeover by the human or by the AI agent, because each of them, either human or the AI, may make problems. So the other partner has the responsibility to warn the partner, to modify the partner, or even take over the task finally. So finally, the conclusion. So based on our observations, we will see that AI is coming to our work and life gradually from a simple function product. So recently, people may have a smart speaker, or to multifunction product, more sophisticated, or even to system, and to probably whole living or working environment. So this will be a new trend. And in this case, on the one hand, our capacity, performance, or comfort may have positive jump. So you may have substantially improve your capacity or your performance, or have much better comfort with your work task or with your life, similar to previous motive power revolution. So with motive power revolution, our living standards and our working conditions become much better than before. But on the other hand, many HAP issues may arise and need to be studied in order to maximize the positive effect while minimizing the potential negative impact. And to do that, multidisciplinary and new approach may be required to address these HAP issues. So this will be my presentation. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, because I'm not online, I cannot answer your questions. But I'm sure in the future, we will have other opportunities to meet in some other seminars or conferences. Thank you so much, Professor Rolf. Thank you so much, the distinguished guest.
It was wonderful, and I really want to convey my sincere thanks to Professor Zhang. Although physically he could not be present here, but he has promised to be with us in any next activity. The next keynote we are going to start in this session would be delivered by none other than Professor Jose Orlando Gomes from Brazil. Professor Gomes is going to speak on IEA BRICS plus network on HFE, brief history and potentials. So this networking actually has brought us together on the platform of SWWE, and maybe further new platforms can be created for that. Let me take this opportunity to introduce Professor Gomes. Professor Gomes is currently working as full professor at Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, Department of Industrial Engineering and Graduate Programs. He is also working as professor at the International PhD program in Global Health and Occupational Health. And recently, he is also visiting University of Hwwe, Beijing, China, as visiting faculty. He has completed his degree in engineering from Sao Paulo, Master of Production Engineering in Work Organization area at the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, and PhD in International Engineering in Ergonomics domain in the UFRJ, France. He was visiting researcher from 2002 to 4 in Cognitive System Engineering Lab, coordinated by Professor David Woods of the Institute of Ergonomics at the Ohio State University. Researcher as Greco Group, Vice President and Treasurer of International Ergonomic Association, that is IEA, in the second term. Chair of the Professional Standards and Education Committee at IEA from 12 to 15. He is board member of Resilience Engineering Association, President of Evergo, and President of Latin American Union of Ergonomics. His activities includes teaching, research, and extension of human factors engineering and ergonomics in safety, cognitive engineering, and resilience. I take this opportunity to invite Professor Gomes, and the stage is yours. I know Professor Gomes, seriously a friend of India, and he will surprise us by some quotes about us, as well as using some language he learned very quickly. So thank you, Professor Gomes, for being with us, and the stage is yours, sir. Please start your talk. Thank you so much, sir.
Dhanyavad, Professor Najmuddin, for having me today. It's a great pleasure I would like to know if the sound is good for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So as I'm saying, thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be, at least virtually, talk to you. And today I will talk to, I'll try to put my presentation now, just 1 second. I guess you can see now, right? Is it okay?
Yes. Your presentation
Okay.
is visible. You please go ahead, sir.
Yes, because it seems the disruptive technology and COVID-19, we are adapting to this new context. So as I said, today I'm talking about the IEA Blix Plus network, a brief history and some potentials to move ahead. First of all, briefly to mention the agenda today, I'll talk very briefly about IEA mission goals, then IEA 7 policies, and P2DT, then a brief history for BRICS Plus, of course, and some potentials. What is important to mention that BRICS Plus is part of the effort, the worldwide effort made by IEA to move ahead in the dissemination of HFE. Why the networks are important, I will talk later about. Sorry. As you know, we have already 54 member societies, but we have 200 countries. So, and we have a good, let's say, moving from industry to developing countries. And countries like, let's say, Ethiopia, Pakistan, and other countries, Kenya, Tanzania. In Africa, for example, we don't have societies. We don't have societies in Central Asia, for example. It's a new axe of development through, for example, China initiatives like Belt and Road. So this is the reason important for us to, since 2015, elaborated by Professor Fujita, the past president of IEA, some policies about how to develop HFE worldwide. I'll talk about these 4 policies in red, like the contribution for science and technology, stakeholders engagement, and networks. The first policy is related to, for example, how we can set up or establish new technical committees at IEA. For example, for disruptive technology, as Professor Hwwe just brilliantly exposed. It seems we don't have any committee now for artificial intelligence or for blockchain and so on. So it seems we need, based on this big change we are watching, it's necessary to promote, as Professor Ray emphasized, how we can establish, how we can organize this discussion to understand the repercussion of this technology in human work, in the human activity. And certainly, IEA 2024, it will be a great opportunity. And my simple constat is Asia has a great contribution in this domain, given the advancements made in disruptive technology. So I would say the participation of Asia in this future of work at the hoc committee of IEA is very, very important. In this case, I would like to comment. Professor Max Chen is the chair for Professional Standards and Education Committee, has been working to map worldwide the departments and faculties related to human factors and ergonomics. I strongly recommend the India Ergonomics Society to collect this data in order to have an IEA database, not only for participate in our events, but also, as Professor Ray indicated, it's necessary we mobilize our research community, our students, to understand, for example, artificial intelligence repercussions. And till now, as you can see, Professor Max has already 409 departments mapped and 1,003 faculties. I guess our community is much bigger, and I strongly recommend to contact him and to participate in this great effort. Certainly, BRICS Plus can collaborate on this, has been already working, but it is necessary to involve the networks because, as I say, always, IEA has an executive committee and the national societies in the countries, but we have the head and the members, but we need the trunk. The trunk, metaphorically, are the IEA networks. And I think I will comment later on, BRICS Plus network is making great efforts, despite it to be very young, and try to engage stakeholders and develop projects. And but this is necessary for each network to develop events, webinars, and activities in order to explain how to engage. It could be universities, local governments, companies, and so on. Specifically to help the national societies, IEA developed the P2DT, Project Planning Design Toolkit, by our colleagues, Professor Yushi Fujita and Professor Andrew Todd. Basically, these two have been applied in pilot events since 2018 in Croatia and Buenos Aires last year during the Congress of Hwwe, and recently the Ergonomic Society of Hwwe developed a 5-year plan. It seems very important. All the national societies try to, and networks, try to make more long planning in order to achieve the mission goals. This is something very recommendable in this case. It will not be different for IEA BRICS Plus. Certainly, we have already, since 2014, we used to have, until 2014, just 2 networks, FIS in Europe and Hwwe in Latin America. But it was necessary to develop a more straight collaboration and more collaborative efforts between IAC and the networks and national societies. In this direction, in fact, we had Ergo Africa in 2014. We have, just to give you a brief idea, we have in Africa 54 countries, but we have only 3 societies. It's the continent in which we have the smaller number of societies. And it's a continent, is booming in terms of investments, and it's necessary to approximate, to work close to African universities in order to train their trainers, in order to support the industrialization, for example. Let's take the example of Ethiopia. Ethiopia has huge investments and big industrial parks, but there is no trainers at Ethiopian universities to support HFE dissemination in the country. And in this, of course, I mentioned 2, it's my lapsus. In fact, CIANI was founded along with FIS and Ergo Africa. ACD is recently founded along with BRICS Plus. But we need more, for example, Middle East, Central Asia, Oceania, in order to have more penetration in the region. And a simple example from Latin America. Latin America, we have 33 countries and 600 million people. And it's surprising when we start in the presidency in 2010, we discover, for example, the vast majority of the countries in Latin America are Spanish-speaking countries with, for example, almost 300 million people and more than 25 countries. And only Cuba, who used to have PhD program in heme effects in ergonomics. And a big effort since this time, we have been working with IEA, and now should start next year in Colombia, a PhD program in heme effect and ergonomics for Latin America, especially for Spanish-speaking countries. It's impossible to have a collaboration and dissemination development of IEA if we don't have a locus, if we don't have a universities program in which we can train the trainers. And this made for the developing countries is a big lag. And to me, it seems necessary IEA motivate, encourage countries, networks to work closely with neighborhood countries to implement high-level training programs, master and PhD program, in order to achieve IEA mission goals. This is important to mention because we can see how we can intertwine the actions since the high level of the structure of IEA and involve the stakeholders in each country, coordinated by the national societies. And of course, if we talk about certification, we need trained people. It's not affordable to send people abroad, even if we have, for example, were discovered with COVID-19, for example, the online technologies for education. And I would say, of course, this will take the professionals, the researchers, the scientists to think about standards, to help the regulators, to have to support the government bodies, to have nationally legislations relate to, for example, HFE, which we don't have much. To be honest, I think is also is a lag. But anyway, and then to move to have endorsed the certification bodies, for example. And I think this is something that we will see the efforts made by BRICS Plus. The projects around the network is very welcome, and is very, very welcome as the structural reinforcement of networks, as well the legalization, like ACD is doing in Singapore. This is so important because the plan contained in IA7 policies, the networks will sign with the regional bodies and multilateral organizations, for example. If we develop in Asia future of work project, it's necessary to have involved CIANIS, ACD, and even BRICS Plus. In the case of CID, is legalize the strategy to sign on behalf of IEA. So, as I promised, I'd like to comment briefly and give you the historical itinerary since 2016 for BRICS Plus Meeting Foundation Beijing, with the strong collaboration from Chinese Ergonomic Society. And it was a big event for us. And just to mention, you can see, for example, the past president and the president of IEA, Professor Eric Wang and Professor Yoshi Fujita. Strong, you can see strong commitment of IEA in order to establish and set up BRICS Plus meeting. It's really interesting. I recover some historical pictures of our discussion in Beijing and the memorandum of understanding. And you could see, for example, the points we discuss at Hwwe University, how to set up the BRICS Plus and what's the aims, what's the goals. And it's really interesting because it's declared the memorandum of understanding signed by the 5 networks. The first one is professional and scientific training club, but not limited to joint programs, continuing education systems, online courses, and then a collaborative research agenda that should include disruptive technology, but also informal economy, which in our country, especially South Africa, India, and Brazil, is very high. Then work with relevant stakeholders, like university, for example, try to establish a common certification system, and also work in terms of the standards to understand the guidelines and how to harmonize them as we have, for example, big volume of economic transactions. So this, you could see, indicates and also give the direction, because in the following year, 1 year after, sorry, we had the foundation in Xiamen in September 2017. The BRICS Universe Collaborative Network was founded, and you can see 7 universities present from the 5 countries. Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, São Petersburg Polytechnico, IIT Mumbai, Nietzsche from India, Hwwe, Witwatersrand, and Rhodes University from South Africa. This is a very good achievement made by the network. And this is so important. Why? Because permit, for example, students like I sign here, Kai and Paula, come to China and try to understand the different cultures. And at the same time, you could see that this is very profitable, that is giving to us good outcomes. And this is really important to mention, especially for in the audience, is open this master at Hwwe University. I encourage the young talent in the students to apply for the International Master Engineering Management in terms to develop their thesis on HFE. It's a great opportunity, and this program is coordinated by Professor Hwwe John. And another important milestone achieved is the first BRICS Plus meeting in Porto Alegre, Brazil, in September 2017, organized jointly with the Bergen Conference. And we had, unfortunately, we did have India. We made all the efforts, but unfortunately, Professor Natjana from IIT couldn't come because of visa issues. But we had our colleagues from the other countries, and we made some progress. We discussed our bylaws in order to prepare for a future application as IEA network. It's important to mention that we had, again, in Porto Alegre, the support from Professor Fujita, at the time president of IEA. Also, the Russian colleagues worked so hard to have a meeting in St. Petersburg in 2018, along with the Russian Society and Ergonomics Congress. And we had some meetings, and also we had other countries participate, because this is the spirit of BRICS Plus. We had Croatia, Finland, and Hungary discussing and trying to cooperate with BRICS Plus. Here is another point very important for our history, is the agreement made by specific agreement, IIT Mumbai and UFRJ, which possibilitate to come to engineering students on ADFE to IIT last year, and they participate at the ADWWE in 2018. Here they are with the Congress chair, Dr. Ali Singh, and other professors, Professor Ralph. And this is a great, of great importance, because we are big countries and diverse culture. In order to cooperate, we needed to emphasize and encourage our student exchange. I hope we can send more students. They love the India, and I guess I would say certainly is a way to go. And we had a second BRICS Plus meeting in 2018 in China. So we had Professor Boris, Professor Ralph, again, Professor Fujita supporting, and also Professor Hwwe. Here we have the Brazilian students participating and studying at Hwwe. And in this year, 2020, we organized a BRICS planning panel at the Virtual Congress of America. This is really important because we could have established our first collaborative research project on COVID-19 that is strongly forward and has made very good progress. We are applying in all BRICS countries these research questionnaires and try to understand the effect of COVID-19 in e-commerce and also in the lifestyle. Besides this, we have organized, for example, in order to support activity theory BRICS Plus Summer School in Rio de Janeiro in 2019, and the same for the NEET webinar realized this year in Mumbai, but online and organized by Professor Ralph. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the stick for to have here, but this is a great importance because we needed to address to the traditional work production system and to think ahead about the disruptive technology. And the one way to go is research training of our talented students to understand the repercussion in each situation. And for this, as mentioned before by other speakers in the Congress, the system approach is necessary to interrelate several dimensions of HFE, not only cognitive, but not only physical, but altogether, cognitive, physical, organization, and psychosocial. This is the reality, not only brought by the disruptive technology, and in this case, as defined by Fujita, we need HFE as a bundle size. We need to work in terms of multidisciplinarity, as Professor Hwwe said, and we needed to be open to other sciences, social science, human science, and exact sciences in order to understand this disruptive moment in which we have autonomous robots, we have Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and so on, big data. The question for us is the digitalization of the economy is already in place in our countries, and we need to make efforts to understand this new technology. And certainly, it's important to mention that working platform doesn't mean that we need not to take a look on informal economy. Let's grab a quick example about the transportation system, Uber, or delivery, or supply chain in general. So we have an informalization of the workforce and an extension of the work journey, very significant. And also we have, along with what's happening in Brazil, the implementation of these platforms with no work rights, labor rights. In 2017, 2018, the labor legislation in Brazil was very affected by destruction of labor rights. So that's part of the story. But also artificial intelligence is reducing the middle management. In Brazil, for example, this automation, along with artificial intelligence, reduce a lot the number of the workers from 1.5 million in the banking system to 300,000 now. So it's so important. Now the disruption is not only in the bottom line of the companies, but also the middle management. Even it's an alert for the engineering schools, because if the engineers are replaced by this disruptive technology. So this is very hot issues to be understood in broad view by HFE, and it seems COVID-19 accelerate, in fact, this new context. I think BRICS Plus has important mission to collaborate with IEA. I think the collaboration through the research to be done by the BRICS Plus University Network is so important. And I think BRICS Plus needed to organize a research agenda, needed to make a strategic planning, because the world in general with the pandemic is going fast. It's not that the industry are digitalized, but education, for example, for the good and for the bad. Of course, the technology is not so adapted yet, but our contribution is very, very important. Said that, I would like to conclude my talk. It seems I'm approaching my half an hour, and to mention that fruit of the student exchange with India, with China, and with my visiting professorship last year in Beijing, some initiatives are already in place. And I show you at first hand is in progress yet, but Indian students and Brazilian students that participate in this student exchange are designing this platform to put closer the 5 countries. It's called BRICS the Catalyst, and the main goal is catalyze a creative, diverse, resilient, and global community over the BRICS. And the idea is to mobilize students to provide information on the student exchange, master, PhD programs, to put closer researchers and professors, to put closer the academia, the research and the cooperation. We needed to have the information, for example, about the 43,000 plus opportunities for graduate programs in China, from a 1-year master to PhD program. And I'm sure a big number are in India, in Russia, in Brazil, but we don't have where to find this information in the same place. And secondly, we would like also go through to put closer the innovation and incubation of business. So we needed to have the student exchange, we needed to have training, and also to involve our incubators in our tech parks in order to promote more business among the BRICS countries. And with the talent, students and future entrepreneurs of BRICS countries working together. It's up to us to promote this. And the idea is to create these connections and to have access to opportunities. And in this way, is also designed, and this is so important, a knowledge networks, not only HFE, but in topics related to disruptive topics. And we would like not to have only BRICS Plus network articulate here, but also to have, for example, there is another a BRICS Plus network in renewable energy in progress. BRICS Plus network innovation entrepreneurship also in progress. And also we have already BRICS Plus in universe network. So I would like to show it firsthand, also link it to this digital platform. The students, they are organized online communities to have more interaction and more informed interaction among the students and the scholars in order to promote much more dynamic and organized events. For sure, the launch is planned for next year, and I would like to count on our Indian friends in order to participate. And this is organized by the students, by themselves. They are really engaged to promote this. And this will be a way to put closer our population, our community. And in this direction also is in progress, fruit of this collaboration with IIT, BRICS Plus, and I would like to mention a great support we had from Professor Hwwe, along with IIT authorities, Professor Natjana, Professor Swatipal. This permitted to have here now Brazilian students and in Brazil and in China, and Indian students at IIT design coordinate, which project is coordinated by Professor Swatipal from the School of Design of IIT, the BRICS Plus network. This is the first idea. I'm sure Professor Swatipal and team will bring, it's already wonderful, but they are working to make an excellent design for BRICS Plus to attract our community. So, sorry to go to pass my 30 minutes, but I would like to thank you very, very much for your attention. Dhanyavad. And I would like to mention that your presence at IEA 2021, presentially or virtually, along with the scholars, students, is a great objective for IEA. Again, thank you so much for your attention. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gomes, and creating so much opportunity to interact through students, through faculty exchange, and through projects. In fact, I'm your host, Dr. Rana itself, and I had joined with some other name. And fortunately, Professor Hwwe is also with us, and I had requested to respond to some of your concerns to Professor Hwwe. I request Professor Hwwe to say a few words and be interact in this session, as Professor Gomes has suggested so many things for collaboration. Professor Hwwe, are you there, sir?
Audio.
Sir, unmute yourself, please, sir.
Yeah, are you getting?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes.
okay. It is so nice to meet Professor Gomes. Okay, And I was present through your presentation and listening to the BRICS community and their activities and how they're going. I'm sure that whatever you have expressed so nicely, definitely our Indian students and Indian teachers are here. They will obviously take the advantage of that and try to promote the BRICS related program, okay, and make a collaborative work together for definitely for the knowledge bank and for the betterment of the human population. I'm so delighted to meet you. Virtually, okay, we couldn't meet. We should have chat. We should have long time. I think this is a nice opportunity to meet you. Really, it is a wonderful meeting. Yeah, though in visual terms. Okay, okay, thank you. So please go ahead with the breaks, and I am always there. And we'll see not only the breaks, IA related activities, whatever is necessary to support from India. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, I think on behalf of IC, I can say that much that IC will really take care about IA as much as possible. Thank you, Professor Gomes. Yes, so nice to meet you.
Thank you, Professor. It's my pleasure. Your support was capital, crucial for our development. And I'm so glad to say that it's really interesting because the students came to Brazil. They have Indian mind. And for them to work with Professor Swati now is a great pleasure. And this is a way to foster, to support, and to put the communities closer. Thank you very much.
I think you have three major hands there in IIT and NITI. Professor Rauf Iqbal, Professor Shati Pal, and Arnav is there. So you are very strong man in Bombay, in India. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for me to learn about India and to participate in this great adventure. I think, as I always say, it's collective work. Collective work is so powerful. And for me, our diversity is a source of power, not the opposite. And this is which I found in India. Any place I visited India since 2014, each year, now virtually, but I made friendship and this, and friendship and trust. And this is so nice now, how we are developing our collaboration and how we are planning our research. And I think very good things will come and very good projects. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind assurances and the proposals you have put forward. We also have Professor Rauf Iqbal with us from NITI. If he want to share a few words, I would request Professor Iqbal.
Please.
Yeah. So, big hello and greetings from India to Brazil. So, it was a wonderful talk. We really enjoyed. And I am very happy to see so many photographs where I am there. So, actually, I do not have such photographs with me. Very good. So, our BRICS collaboration is going very nicely. And we have joint projects are there. And this BRICS special session during IEA 2021, there is a big special session based on our collaborative projects we are going to present. And also what we have planned that every conference, whether it may be in China or India or any other place, So there will be one BRICS session. So that we are following since 2017. Like 17, it was in China. 18 also China. 19 both India and China. 20 also India, and Abergo, where I was invited to make a presentation from IC. So it was really wonderful experience, and we'll continue this. Thank you so much, Professor Orlando.
No, it's as I said, all of you are the dynamo that gives the energy for to continue to make our dreams reality. And then you are support the students because, for example, I would like to mention this platform starts from the questioning of the Brazilian students in India and in China. Say, why we don't think to put closer? We don't have information. Why we not go through, for example, to distribute information about Indian universe, about BRICS universe, Chinese universe? And this is the idea. So I'm so glad because they get at hands the entrepreneur, and they are doing now. So it seems our role is facilitators as professors, etc. And it's giving a very energetic community at BRICS. We need to profit this great moment of our countries because we have a youth, energetic, and talent. And I think, for example, the student exchange is the first step, then go to graduate programs, and for the startups in tech parks and doing business, all kinds of business. It could be social to reduce poverty, in which India has strong leadership and strong experience. And I think we needed to transform, for example, our approach and have an HFE approach in order to reduce poverty. I remember the presentation made by Professor Hwwe in 2016 at the Berg Congress in Brazil. The project Professor coordinate is this migrant population on BRICS industry in India. This, for me, is a perfect example that we needed to move further in order to set up our research programs and application. And we needed to work together and profit the experience, for example, you have, or the South Africans are doing now in terms to work with informal workers, especially street peddlers, the informal economy, and so on. So it seems for us, we needed to, I like a lot a concept from a Portuguese scholar, Boaventura Souza Santos. It seems the University of BRICS needed to go, for example, to transform the poverty in our incubator. We needed to bring our students. Our campus is the township, as Professor Gao brilliantly in his project did. And this, for me, when I saw this, the articulation with how to reduce illiteracy in BRICS workers, migrant population in India, using low-cost tablet and using all the technology developed by Indian scientists in terms of satellites. For me, is the perfect example how we needed to cooperate, collaborate, and move on. And I think HFE needed to participate in any opportunity in this direction in terms to set up, to make concrete this project. I think, for example, we have a big avenue to do so. And I think this is a great contribution for IEA, to think broadly, to think about HFE not only inside the organization, but to think about, the society. And this, to me, India contributes a lot, in my view, and give me opportunity to expand my vision in terms of HFE and move forward. I think I'd like to thank you again, Professor Gauray, for giving me, and also, for example, my contact with all the scholars in India, Professor Swatipal, Professor Kumar, and so on. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Gomes, Professor Ray, Professor Iqbal, and it was wonderful program as well as very fruitful discussion. And these are the platforms being used in the today's era because of the pandemic. But as we all know, we'll have to meet each other, and that physical meeting will also take shape as and when the things come up, and hope to see you again during different programs in India. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being the keynote, and so spontaneous that this mesmerizes the audience. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everybody.
We have Professor Annabella. We have Professor Annabella Elvis from Portugal. Hello, Professor.
Yes, yes, Professor Elvis. Professor Elvis. Professor Gomes has just narrated the story of Portuguese design, and you are also there. So you could do some.
I'm here.
Hello, Professor. How are you?
How
Hello.
are you?
Sorry, I was not expecting.
No
I will have a class. I will have a class in a few minutes. So I was having my lunch, and I was hearing all you said, but I'm preparing also for the classes. So I'm sorry, I was not prepared. Thank you for calling me. Thank you, and thank you for the invitation. And I heard the presentation of Jose Orlando, and I saw yesterday the other presentations. Whenever I have time, I connect it to the conference.
Yes.
I'm always sorry.
We have seen your presence in other keynotes and other programs also.
Okay.
We have seen your
Thank
presence.
you.
We have noticed that you are there. You are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, and this ends the today's session. And tomorrow we have a parallel session in the morning, and 12 o'clock Indian Standard Time would be the valedictory function. I request all of you to join whenever you get the time for all programs. The links will remain same. Track 1 would be for valedictory function, and track 1 and track 2 would be for parallel paper sessions. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Be safe, be healthy, and good evening.
Good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Take care. Thank you, sir.